Hey Team Shuckle, what is up? Welcome back to another Wi-Fi battle. Today we are going back to the Lithio League, or the Lithio GBA as it is, and we are battling Chucho. He is new to the Lithio GBA, but he's not new to Lithio, of course. I forgot who exactly it was that had a drop. Not sure off the top of my head. I think there were a couple of people that actually dropped recently. But he ended up being one of the backups, so he got chosen. So, I was looking at his team, and he has a lot of things that basically my Rotom Cut really wanted to deal with. So I decided to bring Rotom Cut instead of Pinsir this time. I haven't used Rotom Cut yet, and I wasn't really sure. Rotom Mo, whatever you guys want to call him. I think it's Cut. I think it's officially Cut. Yeah, because it's Rotom Wash, Rotom Heat. Yeah, it's definitely Cut because those are actions. Alright, well, either way. Or Mo's an action too. Oh man, I don't know, whatever. So, I was looking at his team, and this is what he brought. He's got a lot of electric things, which actually sort of does scare me a little bit because the electrics are special, and they can really do a lot to Tangrowth. So I was actually a little bit worried about this team. But I saw what his team was, and I figured, what, my best bet is probably to start off with Espeon. So that's what I went for. I didn't see anything that really had Stealth Rocks. I was pretty sure, Roserade gets spikes and toxic spikes, so I figured if he started off with Roserade, I'd be in a really good position. So I end up going out for Espeon, and he does end up actually going with Roserade, so I love this spot. So I go for Psychic just to see, how much it does, and it does almost enough. He goes for Spikes, and I think that was a misclick because, there really wouldn't be any other ability I'd have on Espeon. Or he predicted a switch out. So, I can't really say for certain, but the spikes didn't really play too much of a role, at least from my perspective. So I go for Light Screen because I figure, hey, he's probably going to switch out at this point. A Psychic is going to kill him. He's faster. But he doesn't actually switch out. He does go for Giga Drain, which really, doesn't bother me because, it's Giga Drain. It didn't do enough, and Psychic will kill it. So I go for Psychic, except I don't. What happened was I misclicked and I hit Light Screen, and that really bothered me because I could have killed this Roserade already, and it's just such a stupid play. I didn't mean to do a misclick, but oh well, it happened. So I go for Psychic again because I'm like, I need to kill this Roserade, but I gave him an opportunity to switch into Scrafty, and I was like, oh no. So unfortunately, I don't get an attack off. Now, I do run HP Fighting, but at the range this Scrafty was at, I really didn't think it would be doing too much damage. So I decided to bring in Mojumbo, my Tangrowth, and he actually goes for Dragon Dance. And if you remember the last Lithio battle I had, it was against that Mew, and I'm not very good at stopping people from setting up. Now, I didn't really think Scrafty had too much for me in the ways of attacks, so I sort of stayed in anyway. And I do have Brick Break. I ended up bringing my more offensive Tangrowth. This one's actually used on one of my Trick Room teams. You've seen it before. That's why it's named Mojumbo. But it wasn't cutting the damage, and I get really close to taking it out, but I knew he was going to go for another Ice Punch, so I figured, I use this opportunity to get HP back with Regenerator, and I bring in Melodic, who should probably take an Ice Punch really well, and it does. It takes it really well, so I love that. Now, he goes for Dragon Dance, and I was a little nervous as to what he could possibly do. I forgot about Drain Punch, to be quite honest with you, so I went for Ice Beam because I figured I don't want to use Hydro Pump for it to miss, and I don't want to use Toxic to the point where he probably has a Lumberry. Didn't really feel like doing that, so I went for Ice Beam, and of course it's really not enough to take out this Scrafty, and he is going to get another Drain Punch off, which is really unfortunate because now I'm in a really bad position with my Melodic. I can't really switch into anything, can't really take any hits, but I ended up going for Toxic, and I almost instantly regretted it because I was like, this guy has Lumberry, he has Lumberry, but he doesn't have Lumberry, and I was like, oh, thank God. Okay, sweet. That's great. So I end up switching out because he's probably going to go for Drain Punch again, right? And I bring in Espeon, and I figure, Espeon could probably take a Drain Punch. He is at +1, but it's resisted. I know I'm not, the bulkiest of Pokemon, but I'm hoping. And I do actually take it relatively well. And, you know, I did this whole race to see if I'd be faster than this Scrafty, because it is at +1. And I just was like, I'm going to be faster. So I went for Hidden Power Fighting. I'm thinking it's good range, and if this doesn't kill, you know, he'll kill me with Scrafty, but he'll die to poison. But it does kill, so I'm very happy with that. That was a very good turn for me. And in comes Typhlosion. And I'm like, what to do against this Typhlosion? I was like, I could have set up a light green, but, you know, I would lose my Espeon in the process, and I still need that for Roserade. So I decided to bring in Heatran, because I figured, you know, Typhlosion doesn't really have much for me. It probably has Focus Blast, but I doubt it was going to go for Focus Blast. There's only one thing on my team that doesn't want to take the Focus Blast. The rest of my team really doesn't care. So, yeah. So I end up going for Earth Power against the Typhlosion. I figured he'd switch out. He's probably Scarf. I think most Typhlosions are usually Scarf, and I go for Earth Power. And, you know, for a Jellicent, that actually did pretty good damage. I was pretty happy with that damage, even though I know it's like a special wall. And, you know, I could probably stay in and take a Scald if I really wanted to, but, you know, part of me was really saying, nah, there's no reason to do that. You know, you have Tangrowth for that. What are you doing? And then I realized, oh, I could get burned, can't I? And I don't, so I'm happy. Now, I'm predicting, you know, an Ice Beam to come my way. Pretty sure it's going to be coming my way. So I'm going to end up wanting to switch into Melodic. Now, Melodic can't really do too much damage to this Jellicent, but it's faster, most definitely. And I can use that time to recover and get my HP back. And really, Jellicent can't do much to my Melodic, so that's why I brought in Melodic. But, of course, he actually switched out into Zapdos, so I really can't stay here. And I had a lot of difficulty deciding what to switch into this, because I figured he'd go for something like HP Ice. I figured I didn't really know what to do here. So I brought in Rotom, and he does go for HP Ice, and he shows that he's a very offensive version, and, you know, that actually kind of made me a little nervous. So I went for Protect here to sort of scout if he had like maybe Heat Wave or something, and he does have Heat Wave, so I knew that I really didn't have much of an option to stay in here with my Rotom, because if HP Ice did more than half, Heat Wave would definitely kill me. So I figured, you know what, my best bet is definitely Heatran. 100% Heatran. I have no reason not to bring in Heatran here. I may lose my Balloon, but from what I remembered of his team, he didn't really have anything that I needed the Balloon for. So I didn't really care that much, and I brought in Heatran for the supposed Heat Wave, but it turned out to be HP Ice, which really isn't that bad either. I decided to go for Lava Plume here, even though the switch into Typhlosion was pretty obvious. I balanced out ideas in my mind of going for Earth Power, predicting the Typhlosion switch in, but I figured, you know what, Typhlosion really isn't the bulkiest thing, and it can't really do very much back to me, so I'm just going to go for Lava Plume just in case, you know, I don't want to over-predict or anything. So he comes in with Typhlosion, and I'm like, I know he's going to go for Focus Blast, so I'm going to bring in my Melodic. I just want to, you know, bring in my Melodic, and for Death Fodder, I was like, I don't really have anything for Melodic anymore, right? So I survived at 4, and I was like, okay, well, I don't really want to switch anything in on this Typhlosion, so I'm just going to go for Recover, you know, figuring he's going to try and kill me, right? He doesn't. He really doesn't. And I was so happy when that happened, because now I have my Melodic back. I ended up going for Toxic here. I figured this was going to end up being a Toxic Stall sort of thing, because, you know, he would Toxic me, I would Toxic him, but he actually goes for Will-O-Wisp, and I was so happy for that too, because that not only means that, you know, he's going to be losing more HP than I am over the course of the turns, but now I have a very good defensive boost. Now I can take a lot of moves. I have good defenses now, because I do run Marvel Scale, so I'm really happy about this situation. You know, I can get my Melodic basically up to full HP, and not really worry about anything. Now he's going to go for Shadow Ball, so I don't think he has Ice Beam, although Shadow Ball is his best bet. He hasn't really gone for Ice Beam at all with this Jellicent, so I'm starting to think he doesn't have it. But yeah, I mean, this is looking perfect for me. You know, I'm max special defense with HP as well. There's no way he's going to be out damaging me. I mean, actually, yeah, no, that without factoring into poison, he can easily out damage me, because, you know, I only have Ice Beam to attack with. I'm pretty sure he's Water Absorb, so, because I think Cursed Body probably would have procced already at this point. But, you know, with Poison, I don't really have to worry about that. I can continuously recover. I don't really have to worry about anything, so I'm in a good position right now. I want to keep my melodic as full HP as I can with the burn, of course, because there are things that I can survive, but only above a certain mark. One of those things is Zapdos, of course. So I do go for Recover here, and it brings me to a really good HP range. I'm just slightly under full. I'm very happy about that. So I know I can survive this Thunderbolt, so I stay in, and I actually go for Ice Beam, I believe. Because I just wanted to get rid of the Zapdos. I had no reason to keep it alive. I had no reason to really do anything. I didn't want to switch in anything. But unfortunately, I get really close to killing it. Not enough, and obviously it's faster than me, so I can't stay in. But I'm not going to sack off Melodic because I know I have a very good chance of getting that HP back if I can bring it in safely against the Jellicent. So that's what I'm going to do, of course. He goes for Roost, which is really unfortunate because, you know, it gains pretty much all that HP back. But I know I can take a Thunderbolt. You know, no questions asked, really. I can take it. It does good damage to me. But I go for HP Ice because I figured, hey, you know, the HP Ice is probably going to kill it. Right? Right? No. Wrong. But he, instead of, you know, roosting or anything like that, he actually attacks me, which is good. I may die. I did die. I fainted. But he kills himself in the process with the Life Orb, so it was really good for me. So he ends up sending out Roserade, and of course, I decided to send out my lead as well, because I figured it was the best lead. So, you know, with the Scrafty gone, I can just fire off Psychics without anything to worry about. So that's what I do. I fire off that lovely Psychic, get it off, get a crit, which we all know really does not matter in the least bit because I do well over 90% to it already. So in comes Jellicent, and I know I need a safe switch in for my Melodic to get that HP back. So I spend this time to get a Light Screen, which will definitely help in my ensuing battle. Only to know that my Espeon will, in fact, faint this turn. You know, it was all part of the plan. All part of the plan. I knew it. I didn't want to, you know, 4 HP is not something I can switch in on any attack. Pretty sure a level 50 Caterpie can deal at least 4 HP in damage. So, of course, now I am going to bring in Melodic, which will give me enough time to regain my HP back and effectively deal with this. So I am going to go for Recover here. If I didn't go for it, I'd be pretty stupid. But with the Light Screen up, his attacks really won't do enough to me. It's barely 10, I think. The numbers went by too quickly, but I'm pretty sure it was barely 10. So that was great. I love that. Love that damage. Now, of course, I am getting burnt with the damage and stuff like that. So it's really, you know, it's almost a losing battle because by the time I beat the Jellicent, you know, I'll be at a pretty bad HP range. But I do actually go for Recover again, which is very crucial because I don't really have a switch into this Mega Manectric now. I know it's Mega Manectric because I know his team, but I'm thinking, oh, what's this thing gonna do to me? I calc it out, I do it as much as I can, and I see he has to literally get the highest damage roll possible in order to beat me here. The highest possible damage roll. Actually, no, I think that's next turn. This turn, I 100% survive a Thunderbolt. This turn, however, when I have the 120 HP, I literally only survive... I survive everything, but the highest damage he can do is 120. So it was a real gamble. But he thought that I wouldn't stay in because he, of course, went for HPIs. Now, he goes for Discharge here. And it kills me. And it kills me with the crit. Now, here's the thing. I calc this out. Discharge from a timid max special attack Manectric only does 78 damage to me. So I 100% would have survived that attack no matter what. I had 90 HP, I would have survived with 12, probably would have gotten a Hydro Pump off again, hopefully, because that's what I went for, but unfortunately, that's what happened. Now, I did have the Light Screen up, so that's why I would have survived that Discharge, so I was very upset with that. But I was still able to kill off this Manectric because of the Light Screen. You know, the Flamethrower really did nothing to me, and I was able to kill it off with 2 bullet punches. So here, you know, he brings in the Jellicent, and I'm like, Jellicent, what am I gonna really do against this Jellicent? Rotom. Rotom. Rotom's definitely a great switch into for this thing. I can take a Shadow Ball, I can take a Scald, and we've pretty much seen that he doesn't have Ice Beam at this point. He's got Recover, Will-O-Wisp, Shadow Ball, and Scald, so we don't have to worry about anything. I go for Leaf Storm, thinking it wouldn't kill, but do enough damage for the poison to kill. I actually calced it out, and I knew for a fact that that's what's going to happen. And he actually goes for Shadow Ball, and it does, like, absolutely nothing, which surprised me quite a lot. I really thought it would do a little bit more than that, but it really didn't, and I was very satisfied with that. So he does get a little bit of Leftovers recovery, but the good news is it's not enough, and he does die to poison. So thank you, Melodic. A post-KO KO. Yeah. So in comes Typhlosion, and I really don't have a safe switch into this. I have Tangrowth, Rotom, and Metagross left, and I'm like, oh, if I had been able to survive that that discharge against the Jellicent, I would have been able to get my HP back, and I probably would be able to handle this this Typhlosion. But unfortunately, he's running Inferno, and here is where I am just losing my mind. I don't understand. Now, Inferno's a base 100 fire move. It's special, but it has 50% accuracy. So I go for Bullet Punch thinking it would KO. It is just slightly outside of the 30%. And my Bullet Punch does do 30% to Typhlosion, so it was just barely outside of that. So now I'm really having to worry. I have to win with Mojumbo. He just has the Typhlosion here, and he's using a 50% accurate move. And that is what it came to. Oh my god, I was like, how are you hitting all of these moves? 350% in a row. That is ridiculous. But it was a good battle regardless. I 100%, without a doubt in my mind, I would have survived that discharge. So that was a huge hacks in the game, because with the Jellicent still alive, I had plenty of opportunities to come in, get HP back. You know, I probably would have been at maybe about 12% or something like that, 12 HP. Could have come in on a death, something like that. But, you know, I can't say with Jellicent, or with Melodic I would have won. I really can't say that for a fact, because I can't tell you if I really would have been able to switch in on that Jellicent. I probably could have sacked off Tangrowth in order to do it, not really worry about it, but things like that happen, so it's really not the end of the world. It was a good match regardless. It was still a pretty good match, and I really wasn't salty about the hacks. It wasn't the end of the world. I was just totally mind blown that he was able to get 3 attacks off. You know, I figured, okay, with at least Tangrowth, I'd be able to survive and KO him with Brick Break, because, you know, not survive, but dodge. I mean, come on, 2 in a row, you gotta give me a break, you know? But that's really the battle, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you guys at the next video. Peace.